Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So today I want to plant up one of the in-ground beds where we had a lot of fall and winter vegetables at, and they did absolutely amazing. The weather started heating up, and so a lot of them have flowered, gone to seed. We're not saving these seeds, but I want to share with you today what we're going to plant in one of the beds that I've been cleaning up and what I'm going to do to help me throughout the heat of the summer to not have to water as much, because this particular place in the garden, we didn't run irrigation to it because for me, it was an afterthought. After some of the raised beds got done, now I could easily, call the company back out here and ask them to run drip, but they'll have to dig and they'll have to tap into all different types of limes. And so I feel like with the small space that I'm working with, I could use this to really help me, and it will take and put the water right to the roots of the plants. Let me share with you what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So right here, I'm working on this bed, and as you can tell, we had some celery. And I shared with y'all earlier this week that slowly but surely I am starting to harvest the celery. I'm dehydrating the celery. I'm freezing the celery. But I feel like this bed is at a pretty good point to where I can go ahead and start planting up some of the summer vegetables. Now, again, I'm going to pull the kale right here. It has flowered, it's going to seed, but we're not going to save those seeds. But again, this is the space right here that I could use this way that's going to help me not have to water so much. I'm not going to say I don't have to water at all, but it will definitely help me out because I have learned to develop systems in the garden that is going to help you over time as far as maintenance, as far as irrigation. So this is what we're doing. Now I'm about to go ahead, turn my head and pull the rest of the pansies. It seems like a lot of our fall and winter flowers are starting to shine, are starting to flourish because of the warmer season. But I know that if I want to go ahead and get some of our spring and summer flowers in so that they can be the highlight of the garden in the summer, because we started a lot from seeds, I'm going to have to go ahead and pull them. But I'm not quite ready to pull these yet, y'all, but I have been deadheading. But we are going to go ahead and we're going to pull these pansies right here. And what I'm going to do, because I actually bought these as transplants, it is my goal, because I have a lot of pansy seeds, to just make sure that I start them in enough time, just like we're doing with the spring and the summer flowers, so that I don't have to continue to buy flowers, because I have enough seeds in order to be able to start. But we are going to put some marigold right here, and I'll share with you what else we're going to put here. But let me go ahead. I'm going to pull the rest of the kale and we're going to get this bed planted. Now what I am going to do is add a little bit of compost, because remember I said over time we want to be building our soil. So I'm going to add a little bit of compost. I'm also going to add some slow release fertilizer, because we're going to plant some squash right here and some marigold. And squash and zucchini, unless you absolutely love it, you do not have to plant a lot, because it will keep producing as long as you can make sure the squash vine borers or other pests don't come and attack it. But I feel like maybe 1 or 2 squash plants, maybe 1 or 2 zucchini plants throughout the garden, that is enough, because it doesn't freeze well either. It becomes very watery. So I feel like if we do 1 or 2, we'll be able to have some, and then we'll also be able to share some as well. So this is what we're going to use to help keep our soil irrigated over the hot summer months. This is the Grow Oyas, and I've done a video about this before. We've used it in our patio containers, and I will make sure that I link that video. Side note, this was one of the things that the movers did not steal. Y'all, let me tell you, I'm gonna say it. They have taken so much, and now that I'm trying to do different things in the household, like the other day, I was like, where is my food processor? My KitchenAid food processor, my KitchenAid mixer, some dishes, a lot of things they have taken. And I'm really disappointed. I know that's not what this video is about, but I'm disappointed because you're taking from people. But not only that, I'm the type of person to, if you ask me and it's not really sentimental, I'm probably gonna give it to you. Okay, but I digress. Let's get back to the Grow Oyas, because those were in here and they were not broken. A lot of our pots were broken too, but these were not broken. I actually pulled these up from the old garden, and we have probably about 6, and they come in small, medium, large sizes. I'm going to make sure that I put the link in the description so that you can also review it. Use that link where you can get a percentage off as well. Now, because this space is probably, I want to say about a 4x4, we're just going to put this one in the middle so that it can water the squash and it can also water the marigold. Now the squash is going to get kind of big, so that's the only reason why I'm planting one squash right here. But I'm actually going to try a new method this season that I have been looking at, where I've seen people use like tomato cages and kind of train it to go up, taking off the lower leaves so that it hardens the stem off, so hopefully the squash vine borers won't penetrate it, and then it'll keep the squash off the ground. So this will probably be like my experimental bed. Again, as you saw, lots of red clay soil, but a lot of earthworms. So I'm just going to put a little bit more gypsum. I've been doing that. Gypsum helps to soften up the clay soil, but it's over time. It's not like a put it down there and it's just going to automatically be softened. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little garden tone, slow release fertilizer, because I'm all about building soil up over time. It's a process. So once I do those things, we're going to go ahead, and the squash is very, very little. I mean, it's really small. Now the wire hoops, I am going to put them back on over how I had it, because in the event that I need to use some insect netting, I could go ahead and I can just drape the insect netting over here, and then we'll put our marigolds in the front. So I'm going to finish up, and then I'll come back and let you see how everything turned out. Okay, now it looks a little weird because we reused some of the mulch and then we had to put some new ones on here, but I'm going to get a little bit closer to the ground because again, everything is very small. Now make sure, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button so you can see them and we'll all see them grow together. So right here is the sunstripe squash that we placed right here. And I'm going to watch this, because what I will tell you is that we have a lot of slugs just overall in this whole yard. And they come, and it's a lot of them. So we're going to watch that. If I see that they're starting to be a problem, I will use some diatomaceous earth on them. But this whole area is dedicated to the squash because I know it's going to get big. And again, earlier I told you I was going to try the tomato cage. Well, I have the really small ones, so I'll have to go to the garden center and get some that are a little bit wider, because the small ones that I have, I mainly use it for our bell peppers and different hot peppers that we grow. Now this is why I got to get very close. So I had soil blocked, some celosia, and I'm hoping that it's going to bounce back since I have put it in the ground, because this is the Asian garden celosia, but again, they have been in soil blocks for a while. So you can see little ones right here, and then we have one, if y'all can see me pointing, right over. Let me just get a little bit closer right here. In the front, this is the Proud Mary Marigold. And I'm eager to see this. This is a new variety I'm trying this year, but they are it did say they're very sturdy stems, and they are. I can tell with the other marigolds that these have thicker stems, and they're gonna be like a ball, like a round ball, but they don't get really big, probably about 10 inches in height. Celosia is going to get, the Asian garden celosia is going to get a little bit taller, and we're just going to see the color variation together, because I think the Proud Mary is like yellows and orange and maybe red, but since I started them from seed and they haven't put on flowers, I don't know what they're going to be. We're going to see together. And then we have our Grow Oya right here in the middle that will help me when it comes to irrigating. Now, I still use the watering can when I feed our plants, but this will help me, especially in those hot summer months. And all you do, I filled it up. All you do is just fill it up with water, and then it just seeps into the soil over time as it's dry. So all I have to do is come in with my watering can and just keep this filled up. So again, make sure if you're not subscribed, go ahead, tap that subscribe button, because I think this is going to be a very beautiful bed. Now, the only thing I didn't do in this bed, y'all, because you know I love adding flowers, vegetables, herbs, is I didn't add an herb. But that may come later as I see how things fill in and grow. So we will see. Now, we had a nice overcast earlier. The sun has came out. But again, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, bye-bye.